Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Reacting to my subscribers' K-pop opinions because this content is not suitable for anyone under 60.
60.
7. 1. You need to talk about Cravity's
Oh,
concept teasers
oh,
ASAP. The concept is supposedly birth, rebirth, new beginnings, whatever deep Pinterest core metaphor they were reaching for, but instead of looking symbolic or ethereal, we got Cravity in
when you
translucent white
see
body
the egg,
stockings writhing
when
on
you
a
see the
floor
egg, okay, you get it. When you don't see the egg, you don't understand
You
why.
understand, alright? You understand what this is? You
that looks
understand.
like baby makers. You wanted vulnerability in metaphor? Well, what you gave us was slime core adult movie discomfort, the goo, the slime slathered bodies, the weird egg fluid sticking to their skin like they've been basted. Who approved this texture? It's not even visually satisfying. It's clumpy, streaky, vaguely dairy and land somewhere
And
between
I
alien birthing
know this
fluid.
was such a headache to produce because it's such a mess.
You know what's interesting to me
Why?
is so there was like what the group members, the
Mm-hmm.
photographer, the manager, couple more people probably inside. So there's at least 10, 15, 20 people who saw this. Nobody said
Yeah, yeah. This is a sleigh. This is a
like
sleigh.
nobody said what this looks like. Like
Mm.
everybody's like, oh yeah, this is good. This is great. Like nobody fucking. I mean, I guess porn is illegal in Korea. I guess
Mm.
nobody ever seen porn before. I don't
Oh.
know.
But
And
there's always gonna be a part of me that thinks like, okay, they kind of knew what they were going for and wanted the commotion because it's Gravity. Like, let's get Gravity some attention, some buzz by doing maybe a somewhat possibly controversial photo
Yeah, I
shoot.
mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they knew what they were doing and they did it on
Because
purpose. I mean, I see
we're
it.
still
I
talking
guess.
about Gravity.
Yeah,
I don't even know
aside
what
from,
release this is, but we talk about Gravity.
you're right. We're talking about Cravity this more than their music, so you're
Yeah.
right about that.
inspired lube experiment. And it's not just dripping, they're laying in it, face first, mouth open. It looks and feels sexually loaded in a way that is so off-putting. It crosses from edgy to just
Yeah, I
downright
think it's
nasty.
also
They really said,
intentional.
let's arch the back,
Uh-huh.
dip the head, stare into the camera like you're begging for salvation. And somehow expected this not to be sexual? These aren't birth poses. These are adult content
Because
thumbnails with a
imagine
He's
we
coming in the
dragged,
driveway.
was it Red Velvet for the
Oh no.
cracked egg filter.
we were dragging Red Velvet for what was it, the clam and the pearl,
Oh right, yeah,
and what else?
yeah.
Being close, but this gets a pass.
Well,
Oh,
because it's men, there's double standard in
yes.
Korea, so that's that.
But for the fact that everyone understands, okay, this is kind of off, I feel like it's partly intentional.
I think you're right because I just do not see how
Mm,
20, 15, 20, 30
like a
people
team of
seen this.
people
Yeah,
seen
because
this and thought it
people
was
seen this
okay.
before it was released, and nobody said,
Yeah,
"God damn, this like looks like a bukkake or something." Like what?
you can
We're
say that
talking
on
full
the
body
internet.
presses,
Why
glistening
not? It's
No one
skin,
free. I
knows.
live in a
see-through
free
fabric
country.
sticking
I
to
say what I
every inch
want.
like it's
No, no one
auditioning
has
for a
said
new
it.
OnlyFans tier. The exaggerated buttocks angles are beyond inappropriate. I don't know what the target demographic was, but it's giving fetish art hidden behind the artsy excuse. These aren't costumes, they're condoms with a neckline. And when you combine that with the dripping egg, fluid in the lower back-centric camera angles, even Minheejin didn't go that low. This whole shoot reeks of a fetish concept disguised as conceptual art. Rebirth themes can be powerful, but what this ends up being is a hypersensualized body-centric goo spectacle that crosses boundaries. The use of dripping white fluid, the submissive crawling, the mouth open stares, the fabric sticking to genitals, it feels deliberate, and it's disturbing. 2. YG's newly revealed member is
Too
14.
much.
She's Thai and she's already been training for almost 3 years.
Okay,
So
so
what?
we
Her
go
parents just
from Gravity to now talking about a 14-year-old. The transition, I think we should have put this in another slot. It shouldn't come right after this.
shipped her off to Korea at 11 years old to chase the K-pop dream, in a whole different country away from her family? How is this not a blatant child labor issue? Her parents need to be investigated. I'll never understand how it's legal to send your kid across borders for years just to be worked to the bone in a training dungeon. Not even
So there's is no difference than sending your kid to boarding school abroad. How that is legal? Why would this be illegal? I don't have any problem with that.
a debut.
It's just now that we hear like so many of the stories, people are aware, okay, what can possibly go wrong?
I understand
You
that,
know?
but that the issue is then you have to blame these agencies for not protecting the kids, not the parents for sending a kid for a better opportunity. If
Ah,
if you want a kid,
that's such a tricky position for a parent.
yeah, but you have to understand, like, okay, I don't know the parents obviously, but I would think the parents are not wealthy. I would think they saw this opportunity to do
Yeah.
better for the family, so they sent the kid, which is I don't have anything wrong against that inherently. Now, if
I think a parent should be with them, especially since they're underage.
yeah, but if the parent you have to work, you have to feed the family. But this is a great opportunity. To me, no, I don't have no problem with this whatsoever. It's up to the label to protect the kid from abuse or whatever. It's not up. A parent trusts the labels. They sign a contract with the label that the label is going to protect that kid. So it's this, as I said, it's the same thing as sending any kid to boarding school. You send your kid to a boarding school because for a better opportunity, better, for discipline, for better education, for everything. Like if you live like in a rough neighborhood and there isn't any good schools around, you send them somewhere, in a better place
Yeah.
for better education.
And
So this is nothing wrong with that.
I think boarding school is a really good example because
I
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, like, and in boarding school, is there sexual abuse? I don't know, maybe, but it's up to
I
the
have
board.
heard of
Yeah,
like
but the
things
boarding
happening
school
in
gets
boarding
sued the
school.
fuck out of it for that. Like they get sued. So like it's up to the boarding school. In this case, YG is the boarding school to ensure that that doesn't
At the
happen.
boarding school, do they have like people that are assigned to a group of kids? Like they're
Yeah, they
responsible.
have a. At least in my boarding school, they had a. What do you call it? Advisor, I guess, and we would like every Tuesday or every Wednesday, we would meet up for dinner. Like each advisor has like 4 or 5, not more than 4, maybe like 5 to 7, 8 kids that they're advising, and all of them kind of like meet up and for dinner once a week and talk about shit, and like if you have any issues you go to that person. That's kind of your. Now I can't say every boarding school works like that, but that's how it was where I went.
agree. In the video introduction, she covered an Olivia Rodrigo song, unlike the last member Evilly, who was supposedly the rapper, if you can even call a 15-year-old that. The new member Chania is a vocalist born in November 2010. Yeah, let that sink in. Her singing? Powerful, honestly impressive for her age. But if you told me she wasn't singing in English, I would have believed you. I couldn't understand a single word. I blame YG's signature vocal.
Okay, so 2 things. One, I did understood a lot of it, but there was some moments where I was like, she needs to work on her pronunciation. Having said that, I didn't say none of that in the reaction because she's 14 years old. She's still a trainee. She's not a finished product.
Only 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think that matters right now. If she debuts and her pronunciation is not better, then we have a problem. But right now, I don't think that's the point to judge because English is what her probably third language, maybe second, maybe third, because she also has to speak Korean.
Yeah, she
she's in
knows Korean too.
Yeah, so English could be her third language. I don't think it's fair to just hold that against her yet. But that is something she has to work on.
Yeah, we need to be
She-
clear.
yes, she needs to work on that, but I don't think it's a big deal.
But the thing is, she was able to convey emotion. Like I
Yes,
can
she
tell, pick up the vibe what she was singing. Very emotional.
And funnily enough, the song was Olivia Rodrigo's.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So I think she did a phenomenal job.
I think she gave me Olivia Rodrigo. If you guys watched the reaction, I said like 2 or 3 times that this is giving me Olivia Rodrigo without knowing whose song it was. So she did the job. For the most part, I understood what she said, but as I said, a couple times it was needed more clarity. But it's okay. We can't. She's not debuting yet.
Yeah, you can't be
Training.
100 now.
Yeah, and they're debuting in 2027. She has 2 years to work on. So like, come on, she can't be 100. She can't come out of here and be like, oh, better than I don't know, whoever.
People are on stage now.
Yeah.
She's clearly in that park bomb, Rosie, Ahayan, and Rami school of YG vocals, where they teach this weird artsy cursive singing style that just swallow enunciation. Although it's way more noticeable here than the baby monster girls. As for her age, you really mean to tell me there's nothing off about packing up a literal child barely out of elementary school and shipping her to another country? For what? A potential check in 5 years? At what point is this just family-sponsored trafficking with a K-pop playlist in the background? And let's not get it twisted. This isn't sending your kid off to summer camp. This is a Southeast Asian minor being dumped into the xenophobia-fueled Korean trainee system. Have we all forgotten Lisa's nightmare? Debuted at 18 and still got her money stolen by a manager, blocked from her own family and eaten alive by racist fans and staff. Now you've got Chania, not even old enough to buy a Coke without an ID, and people are acting like it's a glow-up? This is the same.
You need ID to buy Coke?
Maybe.
Never heard that before.
In country
Maybe
that
because
treats
it's like a lot of sugar in it.
Do you need a lot of? Do you need ID to buy a Snickers bar?
So in New York, they do have limits on the sizes that you can purchase at a time for soda drinks, soft drinks. And then there's some places like abroad in Europe where they categorize like Subway sandwiches as being dessert because the bread has high
I
content
mean
of
that
sugar.
that's fair, but you don't need to ID to buy dessert.
I don't know, maybe this is how they regulate the health concerns.
Interesting.
treated an adult foreigner like a disposable prop. Imagine the nightmare for a kid half her age. The wildest part? The parents are cheering her on like they just handed her a golden ticket, when in reality they handed her a one-way pass to isolation, exploitation, and cultural whiplash. But hey, as long as they can flex on Facebook about their future idol daughter.
I don't know. It's just easy to sit and judge these people when you have privileges that others don't have. Like we don't know what the parents are going through. Maybe they're like in such a shitty place that sending the girl overseas is actually better for her than being there. We can't just
Yeah.
sit here and
We
judge the
yeah,
parents
we're
for that.
seeing like one side of the story, and then
Yeah,
we're also thinking the worst
it's
possible
yeah, the worst
outcome.
possible. Of course, if the parents are rich
Yeah.
and they send the girl there, okay, then
Mm,
maybe she was better off in Thailand. But if
mm.
Thailand they live in a hood where they fucking shootings every day, where there's a high chance of her dying on the street
And
being
you
shot,
know
then this is a way better opportunity.
the wildest thing is that if, for example, the person does come out and say that there has been abuses, they feel, oh, I told you so, and they kind of put the blame on the victim instead of like making it open and a safe space to help the victim.
Hmm.
It's a
Otter.
toxic
Who
cycle.
cares about the trauma, right? This is a level of parental delusion that borders on criminal. 3.
It's like she's assuming that everybody's growing up great. It's all roses and butterflies. No, a lot of
Mm,
kids grow up in rough neighborhoods. Kids be
mm,
dying on the street, 6, 7, 8 years old kids
mm.
dying of bullet wounds or whatever. So like, it's not.
Or just from hunger,
Or
not
like,
enough
of
food
course,
at
there's
home.
another alternative: starvation. Like certain
Mm,
places, poverty. So like, we can't just sit here on a high horse and like, oh,
mm.
how dare you send your kid? Well, you don't know what else
That
that
was
kid will
probably
be going through.
the last result.
Yeah, like this might be the greater opportunity for kid than the
Yeah.
alternative. Like
Mm.
that's just so unfair.
The difference between Gnarly and Good Thing is that Cat's Eye actually sold Gnarly despite the polarizing reception, while Idol looked bored out of their minds performing Good Thing. Literally no one besides Soyeon looked like they wanted to be on that stage, which is exactly why the song completely fell off the charts right away. I kinda agree.
Mm,
I feel like Soyeon writing the songs for her really. I don't know if she take in consideration the talent that she has on her team, because it does give like very like, okay, we're gonna use the very minimal talent that we actually have to pass a song, and I feel like they're so much better than that.
so I mean, honestly, there's a lot going on. I think what this subscriber is saying, I think there's truth to that. I do agree that cat's eye girls are just likable, very fun personalities, clear speak English well, so global. Everybody in the world can understand, relate. So there's definitely that. But also, let's not dismiss High Benjin versus Cube. Yeah, Cube. Like, come on, High guys, come on. Cat's eye is everywhere. Like we see him all over the states and doing with the bus feeds. They have the Pepsi commercial. Come on, they have a bigger engine behind them, so you can't even compare that. And also the gnarly, at least the song,
They performed the hell out of that song.
they perform the hell out of the song, yes, but the song, it doesn't make much sense, but it's not off-putting either. Whereas G Idol songs to English speakers just sound off-putting because they don't make sense. Like gnarly song, okay, you get that there isn't much content to it, but like, okay, it's just here in the states, kids listen to that album. Like Yeet,
Mm, mm.
all those young Lil
It's giving
Xan,
club
whatever.
classic.
Yeah, it's like people listen to that. Whereas G Idol, like Soyeon, she be trying too hard with her. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her
And
English,
sometimes
but
it
it
doesn't
just
make
it just
sense.
sounds like what are you trying to say? What is you don't even want to hear that.
Like she's inventing
Yeah,
something.
like she's trying to be too edgy to invent something when you
Yeah.
no need for that.
The issue is that Good Thing is not theirs. Soyeon's the only one who looked like she gave a what, while the rest looked like they just clocked in. For a shift they didn't sign up for. They weren't selling the song because it clearly ain't coming from them. It's some try-hard trend-chasing TikTok core word salad. When you keep shapeshifting for streams, this is what you get. A messy, soulless performance of a song no one believes in, not even the
And like G Idol Soyeon, she added these curse words to the song like fuck, fucking, whatever. She's trying to be edgy, but it comes out so out of place, not natural. Like the curse words, like they make sense when the person delivering it, you believe what they're saying. Like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up," there's a tone where say, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up," and "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up." Like you believe it when somebody say, "I'm gonna fuck you up," not like "I'm gonna fuck you up." Like there's the way Soyeon says it, the fucking and all the whatever curse words she says, just like what? Why you have this here? Like don't sound, you don't talk like that. Like it's just
members. 4. Did y'all see Annie Moon with her supposed boyfriend? People say he's gay and they're just friends, but I don't think it even matters since she's in a co-ed group. I agree. Someone decided to get bitter and posted a so-called expose targeting Annie Moon from All Day Project. Tweet included a few private pics of her with her male friend,
Annie Moon is the rich one.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
specifically Samuel Lim, hugging and exchanging cheek kisses. Scandalous? A girl has friends? Call the morality police. The thing is, Annie wiped her public
But I
Instagram
think
before
she's
debut,
doing.
as most idols
Oh, well, I don't know what they're gonna say next. But
do.
what I was going to say is that what we're saying that is having a co-ed group, it will kind of help overall to stop the gossip train of, oh, idols can't date, who they're dating. So it was a good intention to slow that down, or to stop it but I don't know what she did. She wiped her social media clean. What'd she do?
It's literally standard procedure, but these pics were pulled from allegedly private accounts, and some are still up on Samuel's page, which has dozens of similar photos of him being affectionate with his female friends, not just Annie. Blackpink's Rosie is in there too. People are speculating about his sexuality based on vibes and mannerisms, but I
think
won't
there's
go there
anything
since he never.
wrong with cleaning your I guess your profile when you're now positioning yourself to work.
Yeah, like anytime you enter a new stage in life, you kind of
Yeah.
clean. Like if, for example, if you have a relationship, you have a lot of photos, but then you break up, you delete all the photos from that person with that person. So it's also a next step in life. You kind of clean it up a little bit. So you debut in a new group. It's a new stage in your life. You delete
Yeah.
like, or another, like, the Chaewon from Let's Surf Him. She was part of iZone and I think another group. So, but like, if she I no in K-pop they don't, I don't think they do this. They don't have like personal pages like that. But if she was, on one, she might have had a lot of iZone pictures. But then
Content, yeah.
when she debuts with Let's Surf Him, she kind of delete all that iZone shit because like what the
yeah,
fuck? That's no,
yeah, it's not
so
related.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Also, the social media page was probably just for her friends and probably who may know her. But now, when you're
Now everybody
debuting,
knows
it's
her,
for
yeah.
everybody.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, whoa.
Stated out loud that he's gay, and either way, it doesn't change a thing. Not everything needs to be turned into a dating scandal just because someone has skin-to-skin contact in a photo. The original tweet was grossly judgmental. The person behind it had the nerve to say Annie was lying about working hard for her debut, as if her having male friends somehow invalidates years of training. Like,
Even having boyfriend doesn't mean that you're not working hard. Like, what does that have to do? Like, you don't have to work 24 hours a day. Like, you can work 12 and you can have spent 4 hours with your boyfriend. Like, it's really not that. Come on.
what exactly did y'all expect? 24/7 monk mode with no human contact? Was she supposed to live in the dance studio and sleep on the floor between vocal lessons? She's rich for goodness sake. Plus, Annie is in a co-ed group. The fake girlfriend fantasy was never on the table to begin with. 5. Following a trainee around like a lost puppy before they even drop a single note is straight up cult. Trolls are out here running fan accounts and obsessing over every blurry dance practice. All for what? So you can parade around Twitter saying, I was here first? Miss me with that culty energy. I agree. Let's talk
Yeah,
numbers.
weird.
99% of these trainees never even debut. Let that sink in. Hundreds get cycled through these companies every year and most disappear without a trace. Yet here you are, forming emotional attachments, making stan accounts and monitoring every scrap of info like it's national security. For what? So you can tweet, I've supported her since she was in the basement and flex on other fans? It's giving I peaked in the pre-debut era. And I'm sorry, but nobody outside your echo chamber cares. You don't even know who you're standing. You've seen a 12-second fan cam and suddenly you're dedicating your life to this random trainee. No music, no public personality. It's wild. And don't get me started on the superiority complex. The way pre-debut stans look down on everyone else.
Dangerous. Because then the person can start to feel like they own the idol.
That's how settings form, yeah, because they feel like, oh, the idol owes something to me because I
Yeah.
helped them out. Yeah, that's no, that's weird.
As if being first makes their love more real or gives them more rights to the idol's attention. Newsflash. You're not special. Being early doesn't mean you're better. It just means you had too much time on your hands and nowhere to put it. Actual support isn't measured by how early you show up, but by whether you stick around when a hype dies down or scandals hit. It's borderline obsessive. I've seen people collect every
But
blurry
it does
trainee
kind of
selfie,
feel good
analyze their
to
Starbucks
like
orders, and
a
document their
person
entire
before
existence.
like the world likes the person. Like, oh my god, I actually like your work before people were confirming, yeah, your work is fire. You're not a follower in a sense.
I get what you're saying, yeah. But not stan, like following, obsessing over a person. No, that's crossing a line. Like just liking their work, you hear, oh, okay, this person sounds good. Like, like for example, Joyner Lucas, right? We liked him since his remix days, and to be fair, he never really broke out. I feel like he kind of peaked and he's on the downhill now. Maybe he'll come back and peak again, and maybe become mainstream. And if he does, and we can say, oh, we were here first, but we're not sitting here, oh,
Like owning.
yeah, oh, like watching every
ours
move.
first.
Yeah, like no, like we like him since like what, 2015 or whatever. No, maybe a little later, 2016, 2017. But whatever his career does, we'll see.
It's like they're prepping for a true crime documentary. Y'all are one notebook away from being on Netflix is you. These are minors,
Yeah.
sometimes literal children being
Yeah.
stalked by adults with nothing better to do. You're not a ride or die. You're a red flag. Meanwhile, companies love it. Why? Because y'all are free promo and instant built-in hype. They drop a shadowy silhouette on Instagram and suddenly there's 100k followers before the debut stage is even built. But when the group actually debuts, half of you dip, because the mystique is gone and reality doesn't match your fantasy. Look at survival shows. Most trainees get dumped by fans the second they don't make the lineup. 6. If you genuinely think Yosang isn't getting mistreated, you're either delusional or haven't actually
Who's
listened to an
Yosang?
Ateez album with a timer. I don't care how many times KQ tries to gaslight the fandom.
Ateez,
Giving a
I
main
guess.
dancer and visual less than 10 seconds in a title track is flat out disrespectful. Point blank period. Every comeback. We get
Oh.
our hopes up only for KQ to hand him a grand total of 3 words and a close-up shot. The he's just quiet or his voice doesn't fit argument is tired and insulting, considering he's proven himself on stages and in B-sides over and over. Yosang's improvement is just crumbs tossed out when the company feels pressured. And it's infuriating to keep having to scream and cry for literal basic decency. I disagree. What a miserable
Okay. So I don't really know who he is, so I can't say, is true or not. But
You want to look at a picture?
yeah, I can do that actually.
Cause then we could really tell you. If it's him right now with the shorts, I don't know. I I feel
I
like,
recognize
let
him.
me see. Oh yeah, I recognize
I
him.
recognize him.
I remember his
I
choker.
remember him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
recognizable. He gets
yeah. He
time.
has time. He gets time.
Yeah, I don't. I
Yeah,
recognize. It's not like I've never seen him before. I've seen him.
yeah.
I recognize him. The thing with Ateez, it's a big group, man. Not just Ateez, all K-pop groups. It's a lot of people that can be cut. Like too many people in the group. He keeps saying that. Now, Sang, can he be cut? Yeah, he could. Honestly, I don't. He don't stand out to me. I recognize
remember
him,
him. I
but doesn't
remember
mean
him.
he's a standout. There's other standouts before him. So if I was to cut someone from the group, he'd probably be it. Not say it, oh, he's a bad person or anything like that. It's just if he's not happy with the time he's getting, he can leave the group and do solo if he feels he can get better. As part of the group, I think Ateez
Yeah.
works very well the way they
Yeah.
are right now.
And
Whatever they do, it works. Go ahead.
I think they also, everyone has their assigned role, and that role is important.
Yeah, I think AT's been doing a better comeback after better
Yeah,
comeback. Every time they
yeah, I
drop,
like
I
that.
don't know how they exceed their previous comeback. I don't think they need to change anything. So honestly, if their formula to success is giving Sang little time, well, guess what? That's what we're gonna do because it works. If Sang is unhappy, he's free to leave the group and proceed, try to do solo
Yeah.
activities. I don't know.
But not let the fans not create the
Yeah,
problem.
because this gives a gay behavior right here. The
We'll
comment.
take. If every idol who got the short end of the line distribution stick was abused, half the K-pop industry would need trauma counseling. Not every group can be NCT with a spreadsheet for fairness. Someone's always going to get shafted on lines. That's just how group dynamics work when you have 8 members and 3 minutes to perform. Yosang isn't some voiceless victim chained up in the KQ dungeon. He gets center stage, screen time, and has solo fans like you eating up his content. Is it a crime if his voice doesn't fit the concept for every title track? No, that's called being a professional and understanding your group's sound.
Yeah, it would be different if he came out firing shots and being unhappy, then we can talk about. But the fact that somebody feels like he doesn't get enough line distribution, which again, I recognize him. He just reacted to the ATs 2 days in a row, and I remember him from both the music video and the live performance, so he gets camera time. It's not like we don't see him.
Idea that the company is out to get him is pure Twitter brain rot. K-pop is not a charity. It's an industry and not everyone's going to be the main character in every comeback. Some members are there to support, dance or add color, not snatch high notes every 5 seconds. I even saw some fans claiming Yosang looked depressed during schedules just because he barely had any lines. Like y'all really out here diagnosing a whole man over a 7-second verse? Please, Yosang.
And this comes back to what I keep talking about throughout these videos, that a K-pop group is a team. Everybody has a role. If his role is to, have a couple 20-30 seconds as a center for a little dance and that's it, that's his role. It's nothing wrong. He cannot overstep his role because it's not gonna work. Now it's working because he knows his role and he's good at his role. So there's no issue. Now if the group was flopping, then we can figure out why they're flopping and we can try switching things up, but the group is doing great.
Yosang's problem is not that he's being silenced. It's that fans won't let him have a moment of peace without overanalyzing every blink and micro-expression. If he had a real issue, he's got more resources and leverage than most idols ever will. At the end of the day, line distribution is not a measure of love or respect. It's a business decision, and pretending otherwise is childish. Grow up and stop making everything a scandal. 7. Let's review Stray Kids' Japanese single Hollow. I liked it. It's probably the most emotionally grounded thing Stray Kids have dropped in a while. And that's saying a lot considering how much I love their usual chaotic in-your-face energy. What works here is the restraint. No sudden beat switch just to show off.
Does she love their energy? I feel like she's most often track Stray Kids. I don't remember her praising Stray Kids before.
No lyrical chaos, just a simple brutally honest reflection that hits because it's real, not because it's dressed up. The production's heavy but not suffocating, and for once, they let the melancholy breathe. The existential emptiness they're tackling, where achieving your dreams doesn't erase the internal void, is painfully relatable. And the fact that they don't try to sugarcoat it makes the delivery land even harder. It's the type of track that proves growth not by screaming louder but by showing maturity and vulnerability.
That was quick. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And Zoe, share as much kindness as possible.